And one thing you have to understand is that at some point, you're going to be tested. At some point in your Christian journey, in your life, you're going to go through a long period of trial. You're going to go through a time where you're going to be in the roughest time of your life, where you're going to be experiencing spiritual attacks from left, right, and center. You're going to have so many places, so many people, so many things that are going to do you dirty, that are going to play you, that are going to cheat you, that are going to take advantage of you. You're going to be in a dark place, in a place where it's going to be difficult and you're going to have faith. But one thing for myself, a strategy, a trick that I used for myself when I went through this dark period for myself is something that I call selective openings. Selective openings. This is basically a concept that I created from understanding that when you're in this dark period, when you're in this period where you're fighting for yourself and you're trying to achieve certain things, and because you're trying to achieve certain things, the enemy comes against you. Every entry point, every avenue that the enemy has to use comes from people or places. Every attack that the enemy is going to use against you will come from a person or a place. So what you want to do is that you want to minimize the number of people or places that you're involved in. If it means cutting down on the number of friends that you have, then that's what you have to do. Why are we cutting down on the number of friends? Because the more friends you have, the more openings the enemy has to attack you. So what you then want to do is that you want to have less friends so that you can only be attacked from certain angles. If you only have 3 friends, if the enemy is going to use one of your friends to attack you, it can only come from one of those 3. It can't come from a stranger, because if a stranger comes to you and he says, hey, I want to do this to you, or hey, let's do this, you can easily see that this is something that the enemy might use to attack me, so maybe I shouldn't get invested into it. So it's called selective openings, because you are purposefully giving the enemy only a few openings at a time. You don't want yourself to be getting yourself all sorts of friends, getting yourself into all sorts of situations, going to all sorts of places, so that you have openings for the enemy to attack from absolutely anywhere. So selective openings, making sure that you are only allowing the enemy to have a few openings to attack you from.